So this week we're going to be talking about Big X the Plug, 6WA. What you know about it? Let's go. All right, y'all. So here we go for another one. Talking about Big X the Plug. Um, we'll go right into it, man. I just want to say personally, man, album took me back, man. It was so much. And then I listen, I heard the term used to West Coast, man. And I think, man, I think almost like it's almost like saying, can a chick have too much ass? She can. Like, I don't think you can get too West Coasty, and I don't think Big X the Plug went too West Coasty on this one, man. I think he definitely hit the mark, man. I was the whole album from front to back. My favorite ones was I Go, Dope Man, and Who Done It. And it wasn't a whole lot of complicate. It was a whole lot of West Coast sliding, just a whole lot of West Coast gang banging. I heard some Dog Pound references, some Easy E references. It just took me back, man. I'm a fan of the West Coast, so it really I give it a nine. Give it the niner.
Okay.
Jay, what do you
Okay,
think?
I like that. Like always, like and subscribe first and foremost. And
Definitely, definitely.
I totally agree with you, man. What is two West Coasters, right? What does that? I guess that's like
I
it,
want to.
but who does that refer to? Does that refer to people who, such as these guys, who aren't from California, who do that type of music? And you say, well, that's too West Coast. But I totally
Oh,
agree with you, and I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a West Coast type of cat. I liked it. This 6WA 600 Entertainment. It had the cover of the cover kind of was like the NWA cover, straight out of Compton. Um, they let it be known they're definitely with the quote unquote the gang. They're definitely gang. We'll say that. But they're definitely gang. Um, had DOC, so shout out DOC, Ruthless Legend. You was talking because we had mentioned about Ruthless Records. He was like, who are the artists on Ruthless Records? And I just happened to mention the DOC, and he pops up on this album.
yeah,
So shout out
he popped
DOC.
up. Shout out
Ain't
DLC.
that
Shout out
crazy?
DLC.
He pops
Yeah.
up. He's actually from Dallas. He's actually from Dallas originally, and this group here is from Texas, Dallas, Texas. If I'm correct. And it has Snoop featured on here. Um, my favorite cuts was 6WA, Long Live Fresh, Sixer Party, which featured Snoop. From the bottom, Life of a Gangster, Dope Man was one of mine too. The hottest, I think that's what it is, the hottest. Um, America's Most Wanted was a good one too, and 600 Degrees, and Ain't Never Slowed Down. America's Most Wanted had that Boys in the Hood, I think it was that Easy E.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that definitely was, I'm a big fan of Easy E. That's my favorite rapper. So shout out Easy E, rest in
Shout
peace.
out.
They
Shout
did their
out.
thing on here, man. They did their thing. I gave this an eight. I gave this an eight. I enjoyed it. I'm glad to see he did. I believe this is Big X the Plugs. I want to say this is his partners in them. So I'm glad to see his bounce back from that last album that we did reviewed of his that country album. That wasn't
Would you guys give
that
that?
I wasn't feeling it at all. It definitely was
Uh,
that was
not the
West
mark.
Coast. Uh-huh.
Well,
This
this
was
one, this one went all. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one went front to back to me. I'm not gonna lie. The ones that I
yeah,
named were my favorite songs, but the whole thing rolls, bro. And
it
listen,
did,
I
didn't it?
want to get listen. Let me get into this with you though. So, excuse me. The thing about the two West Coasty thing, okay. So I was thinking about it and I kept asking myself, what I asked myself the same question you did. What is two West Coast? And
Yeah.
so the first thing that I could think of is okay, I'm gonna give you some names. And I'm gonna you just tell me if you're agreeing or not. The Fizz movement, Mac Dre,
Mhm,
Selly Cell,
mhm.
um, MC8,
Okay.
um, I want to say C. Well, I want to say Sibo, but we'll throw Sibo
Yeah.
in there too. Sibo too. These guys that I named have a sound, and when you hear
Yes,
that
I was
sound,
about to say that. It's West
it
Coast.
auto, it's West Coast,
Yeah,
bro,
it's West
and it
Coast. Yeah,
tends
I know
to
exactly what
if
you're saying.
you see what I'm saying, and if you're not with the Fizz movement, you're not gonna feel none of that, dude.
Feel it.
You're not
None
gonna
at
feel
all.
it. You know what I'm saying? And so I
That's
get
like
that. I
I know exactly what you're saying. Like Doggy Style. Shout out Doggy Style out of San Bernardino. He is West, like as soon as you hear him, you're like, this dude's just too West Coast. Like he's definitely West Coast Coast. His
yeah.
delivery, the and I'm with it, cause you know I'm down to the bank, cuz. Then you know I'm with it, cuz, and like yo's definitely West Coast. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Now those, yes, those dudes, I would be like, yo, those guys is kind of too West Coast. But for guys
Yeah.
like this, I'd be like, I don't
That
see
yeah.
it. They
I
just
didn't see it
made
at
reference
all.
into like they just took bits and pieces of like from real motherfucking G's. They took bits and pieces of that and put it in their bars. They took bits and pieces of little things, even from Boys in the Hood, and put it in their bars as reference. But it wasn't nothing to where I was like, oh, this is definitely too West Coast. I thought they
No.
did a wonderful
No.
job of representing of holding it down for Dallas, Texas. So shout out Dallas, Texas, D Town. You got you a winner with this one here, this 6WA. It was definitely dope. And that's what DOC said when he had mentioned when he was doing the intro, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it like we did it.
Uh-huh.
Do it like y'all doing it. Do it with all flavor to it. And that's what they did, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? He was like,
Now,
don't do it all the way how we did it. You know what I'm saying? Dude, put a little twang in it, spicing it up. They did, and he had a wonderful roster on here. His little roster he has. They did their thing, man. They did their thing. So shout out 6WA, man. They did their
say
thing. I you
is Big
know
X the plug? Is he from Dallas?
yes, he's from
Okay,
Dallas.
so now there's the question. So now here's the question, Jay. He's from Dallas, right? Dallas, Texas is considered the South, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so now is he paying homage to the West Coast because
that's what I say. That's
of
what I would
ties out
say.
there? Like I don't like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, because
I'm
like I
not hating
said,
on it.
DOC is from Dallas, and DOC has ties to the West Coast. If it wasn't for
Right.
Dr. Dre, there'd be, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for no DOC, Dr. Dre did a lot of those rhymes. Dr. Dre spits a lot of those
Yeah.
from the Chronic to especially the Chronic to even on the Chronic 2000. I think he did some work on that too. DLC, NWA. Even back in the NWA days, he wrote with Easy E in them. It was him, Ren, and Cube. Those were the three writers for NWA.
Okay.
So DLC has a lot. He has a lot of connections, a lot of ties to the West Coast. And then he was good friends with Suge. That's how he got on Death Row. Him and Suge was good friends during his ties to NWA.
Okay.
So he
But
definitely
what is
has ties to
where
the
does
West
Big X
Coast.
the plug fit in that whole thing though, right? Because DOC
Him
wasn't
being the him
technically
being the up and coming, him being the new talent out of Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Him being the new
Okay.
talent out of Dallas, and
And
I
so
would
DOC's
say during the
co-signing him.
DOC, yes, DOC's co-signing them exactly.
Okay,
Him being
okay.
a new up and
I
coming
get
talent
that.
out of Dallas, DOC being out of Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Even Erica Badu's out of Dallas. So
Right,
they DOC's is giving him the stamp of approval, letting everybody
right.
know this young man you need to look out for, up and coming Dallas artist. Check him out. He's doing his thing and he's doing it on a whole nother level. And he is. He is. He bounced, like I
That's
said, this dude
crazy.
just bounced back from the country album and
Yeah, how does
he
that
did a
work though? Yeah, how does that work though? How does he? I wonder what made him shift gears like that from a country album to a dope ass West Coast album like that.
that country album seemed like he was just in a relationship that went completely bad and he wanted to get a lot of stuff
Man,
off his chest.
it sounds like
So
another album we're going to review too, and it it
well,
sounds
we
like one of
already
those.
did. We already did. In his tapes,
No,
we already did. So
you
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
we already hit
It
him with
sounds
the
like another
humdinger.
one.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely hit him with the humdinger. Let him know get back into the studio and get to work ASAP. And this is the project he came out with. So I'm
Well, he
satisfied
did
with that.
good.
Yeah, he did good. At least to us, he did good. Like I said, he had some good songs on here, man. And
Cause
if you are into if you're into young artists these days taking the influence of the old school and making it modern, this is definitely your cup of tea if you are old West Coast head. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a
right,
West Coast head, though. You got to be, and you know, I'm saying you necessarily ain't got to be a West Coast head, but if it would make more sense to you if you were a West Coast head and you heard this album, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm waiting for somebody to
right,
do like an East Coast album like this. You know what I'm saying? Some young rapper just take uh, old school maybe. What was a big hit back in the '80s, man? Maybe some old school Public Enemy, revise it, maybe some old school Busta Rhymes, leader of the new school, you know, some boom bapish. You know, Nas is already
right,
trying
right.
to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, who was that
That'd
female?
be
Who was
dope.
that female that was rapping on Who Done It? Because there was a chick rapping on a
Who
couple
done
of
it?
those songs, and she was tight. Yeah.
That's his female artist. She's on the label. Yeah, she's on their label. Uh,
Okay.
I did hear her. Her the one I heard the most though is the one with the dreads. He's always representing. Well, it's the knockout. He did. He took the BG knockout. He came off like BG knockout did. Well, it's the
What's his
some
name?
gangsters.
I don't
Uh,
know his crew. Like I don't know the guys in his, like the people on his crew that he got rapping with him. I just know him. Like I didn't even know he was affiliated with DOC. To be honest with you,
this
you know
is
what
the
I'm
first
saying?
time I've heard any of him, DOC and DOC and him on anything.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you give it a
Man,
why? Okay, so I gave it a 9, right? You gave it an 8. So where is that extra point lacking?
I wanted more songs. I got into it. It's one of those where I get into it and
Right.
I want to hear more of it. And you disappoint me by, this is the teaser. You know what I'm saying? But 12 songs on here, I mean 14 songs on here is good. I thought it was gonna be like at least 20 of them because it, like I said, this was a good thing. This I like the little cuts on here. Let's see, you got somebody
Yeah, it could have been a
named
little bit longer.
Haven't Got Bands, Rosama, Murder Gang BP, Young Hood. This is another name on here.
He's from '60s, ain't he?
Yes, yeah. That's what the 600 basically.
And so
It
The
was
question that keeps running through my head the whole time we're talking about this is where I like where did this whole country album come from? Because when you say country, when I think of country, I'm thinking of like,
off the guitar
bro, I don't even
strumming.
know. Like I don't even like hip hop.
Sort of, but he had
You
a little
know?
rap in there, but it didn't fit. It really didn't fit. But then again, like I said, every other song on that album was like a you could tell he was in a bad relationship. So it
Okay,
seems
so
like
they were country songs geared toward a female.
yes. And it kind of like I don't know if you ever heard that joke about country music. You know what happens when you play country music backwards? You get the dog, you get the girl, you get everything back. You know what I'm saying? His album sounded like
I have not heard that,
in
but that's a
reference
good
to
analogy.
that, in reference to that, but it was just like, bruh, it was you could definitely tell he was going through some things. Whoever she
And
was,
so you gave this
she
one an
did some
eight.
things.
Would you give that album?
Man, I think I gave that Joker like a five, bro. Yeah,
Mm.
it was not good. It was not one of his better projects.
So was he like singing like the neo soul type thing? Was he okay? Was it like rap? I'm like, I'm not
He
just gonna
had a
listen to
little
it.
singing.
I'm gonna go.
He had a little singing in there, but he also had rap. It was nothing like neo soul.
See,
Nothing.
dog, guys, rappers, stick to the script, okay? Y'all guys, y'all niggas need to stick to the script, man. Seriously, bro. Like, listen, I get it. You get rich, you get enough success, and you get up there to where you feel like you want to experiment outside. But we need rap, bro, because hip hop is almost on the brink right now, man. And these guys that are
Think
coming out
so?
with these, yes, dude, yes, bro, bro.
Yeah.
And I must start telling the truth about these guys, man, straight up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even have to hear their album. But if you guys aren't, listen, hey, check this out. Didn't you guys learn to not play with your spit? Okay? These guys ain't spitting. They're playing with their spit, bro.
Playing with the spit.
They're playing with their
You
spit,
guys
bro.
hear that? You guys
Straight
out here
up,
playing with
bro.
the spit.
You guys stop
You
playing with
ain't
your
out here
spit,
rapping,
man,
you playing with the
and
spit.
start straight up. I don't know what else to say about it, bro. But no, big extra plug. Shout out to you, man, because you hit the mark on this one,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Straight
Yeah,
up.
you definitely
I love that
did. You
album.
definitely did. Definitely did with a bounce back. And I get, the West Coast theme. Some might say it might be too West Coasty. But brother, like I said, after that last album, this was a breath of fresh air for you, as far as I see it.
That's
And
crazy. And
and I enjoyed it. I really
yeah,
did.
yes.
Gang, ganging. Shit, for
Gang.
real,
And we
straight
need
up,
consistency out
man.
of you rappers, man. Well, a dud and
Yeah,
a dud and a dud and a dud. Listen, bro, a dud and a W is cool, but a W and a W and a W is even better. Consistency, consecutive.
yeah. But and then again, like I said, I think a lot of these artists they experiment. They do it just that one time, and they see what it does, and then they're gonna be like, "We ain't gonna mess with that again." We just wanted to tamper with it. You know what I'm saying? And plus, a lot of
Right.
times, I think it's at a high. It's at a point to where they're they're not putting out as much music. So then that's when they do something different. They like,
Right.
well, everybody's used to me rapping. Let me try something different real quick. Let me just throw that out there real quick.
Yeah.
Stick my finger
Prime
in the water to
example,
see how smooth
Kanye.
it is.
When Kanye did that
With albums,
808s and heartbreaks, that 808s and heartbreaks,
yeah,
whole auto tune album. It got a lot of criticism, but it was very successful. It was one of his most successful albums. But it was just and then it was crazy at the time, bro, because if you remember, Jay-Z came out with a song, which is his man's, called Death of Auto Tune. So it was like, everybody's just not, and I'm not trying to like, ride the
that's when the
Jay-Z wave
auto
or nothing,
tune
but
era. That's around that auto tune era, ain't it? where
It got
everybody was
bad
just
for a
using
minute.
auto-tune.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it
did.
got bad, and it just drags. It's
T-Pain
like,
came
bro,
out with it, and it just was like,
you guys aren't even rapping, bro. Wayne did it. Okay, so listen, and I'm gonna give props to Wayne because Wayne did it too. But Wayne spit. Wayne established his. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something about Wayne. Wayne established himself as a bona fide spitter before he even stepped out of the lane. You gotta do. You gotta fucking. You gotta seriously, solidify yourself as a bona fide spitter before you can step out of that lane and people take you seriously. Because if you don't, people aren't going to take you seriously, and your album's going to flop, or people are going to look at it as weird.
that is
You
true.
see what I'm saying?
That is true. And Wayne has always solidified himself as a bona fide spitter. I
Day
mean,
one,
even
from
Kanye
day
West
one,
has too. Well, I don't
day
know.
one, huh?
Would you say
Day
Kanye is a
one.
spitter?
Yes,
Yeah,
Kanye West, yes, he's a spitter. He's all yes, yes.
yeah,
That's why his album. That's why guys like Kanye West can step out of the lane and do albums like that and be successful. Whereas Big X the Plug, he's fairly new. He hasn't really established. I mean, he's established, but he's not
yeah,
established. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Then he's not. And let's just face it, he can rap, but he's not spitting like Kanye and Wayne, bro. He's not.
No, he's not.
And
No, he's
so
not.
and so if you're gonna do an album, if you're gonna step out of the lane and do an album like that, you gotta make it interesting. That's all I'm saying. Gotta make it interesting,
Yeah,
man.
you
Because
definitely
if you
do.
just stick to the script, yeah, if you just stick to the script on something like that and you're not solidified, then it's just gonna look it's not a good look, man.
And that's why most artists, I think, take that route. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, man, you got to make it. If you're gonna step into that realm, man, you at least make it interesting. Uh, make it to where we could be like, okay, that was dope. He put a little twist on it. That was dope. We
Yeah.
know he can go outside of the box, and like you said with Kanye West. But I always knew with Kanye West because he's a producer too. He does his own beats, so his mind is already everywhere, all over the board. You know what I'm saying? And for him to take what he has in his head and put it out for the world to relate to it and feel it like
Yeah.
he feels is definitely dope. He's definitely, yeah. So he's definitely one of those, definitely, like you said, a spitter who can take that chance of doing that. Where Big X the Plug is fairly new, and he tried. Most new artists though are doing that though. I'm noticing that most new artists are doing that, and I feel like it's probably because they run out of stuff to rap about, and then they take that break and try this, and then go back to this. Like I have yet to see a rap. Well, Noriega did it. He went reggaeton one time. And I'm like,
Eh, I remember that, and it did. I don't think that one hit the
yeah,
mark. I don't think that
I
one
don't
hit the
think it
mark,
did
bro.
either.
That he had a good single. He had a hot single that Oi Mikano with Nina Sky. That was a hot single. But just as a whole, you would have to be a fan of you'd have to literally be a fan of reggaeton to like go out and buy that album, bro. Regular Nori fans probably heard it and were like, "What the fuck is this shit?" You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You went from Super
yeah,
Thug
I'm Puerto
to
Rican. Oh, now you Puerto Rican. Yeah, I didn't even know you
you
was half Puerto Rican.
know what
Like,
I'm
oh,
saying?
okay. You get on one Spanish song, now you Puerto Rican. But then come to
Yeah,
find out
that
he is half Puerto Rican. Like, oh, okay, all right. Well, you just have. Don't mean I don't
yeah,
know what you were thinking with that. But all right,
but
I feel
yeah.
you.
I mean, he's just trying to pay homage to his heritage, and I get that.
Yeah.
But
And that's
he
why I
that
kind of
one
think
that
with
one
the country, I think that's most Southern rappers when they do the country crossover. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because growing up in the South, bro, you hear country music all the time. Grocery stores, uh, radio stations. If you drive too far from where you live at, your radio goes out. You're gonna pick up some country music somewhere. So country music has always been around in the South, as opposed of I'm quite sure people in the city play it, but not as much as people down south play it. So that kind of opens up a
right.
whole new door for Southern rappers. You know what I'm saying? If I knew I could do a country music and make it sound good, I would try to experiment with that. But I would definitely have some country artists involved. I hear a lot of now, you having it to where country artists are involved with rappers. So you have where's the dude's rapping and then he comes in with a country singer on a country type bass hook. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it works out. Just like that
Tim
Nelly and
McGraw,
Tim
I was thinking
McGraw.
about that. But
I
these are, like
never
I
knew that
said,
was
these
Tim
are,
McGraw. I didn't know what that type of song that was at the time it came out. I just remember it was playing over and over again, over and
yeah,
over
but
again. And I was like,
the
okay.
look, the theme to it though, listen, the whole theme to all this is all these artists that we're talking about were established artists like Nelly. Like I said, you have to have it be in a lane to step out and do that and be successful. You know what I'm saying?
True,
Nelly, I mean, he was way past the stratosphere when that song came out. You know what I mean?
true. Yeah.
So I mean, you grab one of the hottest rappers in the game and then the hottest country singer in country music, you can't do nothing but make a hit. You know what I'm saying? There's no other way to go but up. But
I wish DOC would have rapped on this, spit a verse, because Snoop Dogg did. And it was Snoop Dogg gave him a nice little verse. But I would
yeah.
rather hear DOC because DOC can spit. That's the only thing
Well, his
I
voice,
would
his
have preferred.
voice.
Well, yeah, his voice, he got that raspy voice, and he tried before with that voice to put out an album, and I don't think it did too well because it was
I don't
hard
think
to
I heard that
understand.
one.
Yeah, it was a while ago, back in the '90s, a while ago. But yeah, shout out 6WA, man. That the title and the album. I mean, the name of the group is the name of the album. I'm sorry about that, y'all. The name of the group 6WA is the name of the album. So we back to doing that stuff again, which is dope. Dope.
Yes, sir.
And
But
that's like I said,
we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Y'all like and
yes, sir.
subscribe. Check us out on our
Yes,
channel,
sir.
man. We're on every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday lives. Come check us out, man. You know what I'm saying? Have a cup of coffee, sit up and chat with us, man. We love to have y'all, man. Talk about these rappers, talk about some of these subjects, talk about some of these haves.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
sir.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man. If Jay, you don't got anything else to say, man, you know, um, that
Well,
concludes
man,
our
shout out
segment.
Big Extra Plug, 6WA. 600 Entertainment, man. Like I said, like and subscribe. And if you're a fan, go check out your boy BigXthaPlug 6WA, man. It's definitely up there. We out.